clearly broke the law, helping cause the 2008 financial crisis. There's a pretty broad consensus that there's a clear group of people who got away with billions of dollars illegally and have not been brought to justice. You have an opportunity, check Inside Job on Matt Damon, who's narrated there. Fantastic investigation, detailed investigation of the crimes committed. Number 2, Congress enact legislation to protect our democracy by reversing the effects of the Citizens United Supreme Court. This is not the craziest thing we have ever heard. Corporations are not people. And when the Supreme Court justices try to explain to us that they don't think it's going to hurt democracy if corporations can invest unlimited amounts of money into political campaigns and then not have to explain to anybody where that money went or how much they gave. I don't think there's a name for how strange that is, except maybe mega hypocrisy. It is that strange. Read the Supreme Court justice on that case and you'll feel your jaw drop. Number 3, we have to reenact Glass-Steagall. Roosevelt saved our nation from 50 years of this by saying an investment bank has to be separate from a bank. You take your money to an investment bank, they're going to go to Wall Street. You take your money to a bank, they're going to hold it for you. If you let them confuse that, we had the last Great Depression, we stopped that. We reneged that recently, and now we have investment bankers who can take our pensions, take our savings, they can take everything, and they did. Took it to Wall Street, gave it to their buddies, and it's gone. A simple piece of legislation would have stopped that, and that's all we're asking for as a group of people, for the laws we have, for simple common sense legislation to enact in America. Number 4, real quick. Congress to pass the Buffett rule on fair taxation so the rich corporations pay their fair share, close corporate loopholes, including the prohibition of offshore funds. They say 30% of America's wealth is being held offshore, so they don't have to pay their fair share, keeping our roads going and keeping our schools going. We can stop that. Number 5, Congress completely revamped the Securities and Exchange Commission, staff it at the highest and lowest levels of professionals who get the job done, protecting the integrity of the market and thereby protecting the American people and investors. We have regulation agencies to look into what happens. We just never gave them any money. We never gave them any power. We never allowed them to do their job, much like the 9/11 investigation, by the way. Number 6, reestablish the public airwaves in the U.S. to protect give the equal time and free, reasonable interviews and daily programming during campaign season. That's the key as well. The reason America doesn't know about this is the corporate media is lying and trying to distort what we're doing here. If the media were shared equally amongst all the people, we'd be able to reach out in a much more profound way. Number 7, Congress enacts specific laws that effectively build a wall between the defense industry and the U.S. military. If we're going to after corruption and trying to reduce all the unnecessary wars that are costing so many ways, especially the lives of people here and there, then this is the granddaddy of all reform. As Eisenhower tried to remind us and warn us at the end of his term, the military-industrial complex is the greatest threat to security and stability in the world. If I could quote Eisenhower for 30 seconds. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for disastrous rise of misplaced powers exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic process. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial complex and the machinery for defense with the peaceful methods and goals, so the security and liberty may prosper together. That is a moment in history. We have stopped, listened to, we could have avoided most of the disasters of the last 50 years. Kids, thanks. I'm honored to be here. I've been here since Saturday morning. I'll be here until this is over. I'll be here until there's justice in the streets.